Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Porter Says podcast with your host and only host, Heath. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, let's just get straight to it. Sorry I haven't uploaded in over a week. I was just trying to come up with like the best ways I could make this the best episode that I can and try and put some more effort into it. You know, coming up with more stuff to talk about, like, you know, waiting for like more film, TV news and stuff like that. So let's get straight into it. In the last few weeks, there's been a lot of stuff coming out in the film world, I should say. Now, I'll talk about the movies I've watched. I've only got 3 here. As I said in the last episode, I would like to split them up, in the coming episodes, because I don't want to talk about 6 or 7, because that just goes on for way too long. I've only chosen 3 for this one, so usually it's either 2 or 3. Last time was 4, but I'm going to try and stick to 3 this time. But let's get the news first. A bunch of stuff has come out. So just this morning, actually, we got a brand new trailer for the live-action Lilo and Stitch film. Looks really fun, really entertaining. I'm very excited for it. It looks different enough from the animated one. There's a couple of shots in there that are pretty much directly taken from the animated film, but it also is, you know, at the same time, not a shot-for-shot remake like a lot of these things are. So that was released this morning. So I figured I'd bring that one up. We got the first official teaser for Shrek 5, and the characters, to people's dismay, have been redesigned for the modern era, and it's kind of, people are saying it's in the style of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, but it's nothing like that. The internet's freaking out over this. I don't hate the redesigns, but I don't love them either. I think they somewhat could work for this era, for the modern era. You know, it just, I don't know. It seems like everybody's going nuts over this, and it's just like, look, it's a teaser trailer. The animation could get better. They could do some more work, or maybe they've got enough complaints from the fans that they might try and redesign them a bit more. But, I mean, honestly, I don't hate them. So I'm excited nonetheless for Shrek 5, because I'm a big fan of the Shrek franchise as a whole. So, yeah, I'm intrigued by it. It's coming out Christmas next year. Zendaya has been cast as Shrek's daughter, which just it makes me think, where are the other 2 kids? I thought he had 3. So I don't know. It could happen. Oh, sorry, there's a fly on my camera. There we go. Yeah. So Shrek 5, I'm excited. I'm intrigued to see what this could be. Animation and redesign, don't hate them, don't love them, but yeah, we'll see. It's just a teaser trailer. It wasn't much of anything. So, Percy Jackson Season 2 wrapped up filming not too long ago, I want to say. Maybe like end of last month or something like that. I'm very excited for Season 2 of Percy Jackson, The Olympians on Disney+. Because I loved the first season quite a bit. I was so hyped for that. I just read the book like a couple of months prior, because I wanted to get some refresh. And it's not perfect by any means. It wasn't, you know, it was a bit rushed in a lot of parts of it, and the episode lengths should have been longer. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty faithful adaptation, and it made some changes that I think were somewhat necessary. And, I did speak very briefly about the Percy Jackson series as a whole in one of my very, first episodes, one of the earlier ones, where I said, it's definitely, this show is a much better adaptation than the movies were. I love the movies, but they're bad Percy Jackson adaptations. So that might be a Patreon episode on its own. It could be about the Percy Jackson films and the books and the show as a whole. Maybe around the time season 2 comes out, which I'm gonna say season 2 will hit Disney Plus maybe around December of this year, at the end of 2025. That's my guess, considering the fact they only just finished filming. So I'm very, very excited to see if monsters come to life on the TV screen, not the big screen, I should say. I mean, we got a big screen adaptation, but it was not accurate to its book at all. So we got, obviously there's a lot of new characters coming in. There's a whole brand new character, and this was obviously mentioned ages ago, so it's kind of irrelevant, but I want to talk about it anyway. Yeah, so there's a whole new character coming that was not in the books at all. So I'm interested to see how that goes. We also got some more official casting for the Harry Potter TV show. We got Snape and McGonagall. Now, I'll try and pronounce this as best as I can. So as Professor Snape, we got Papa something Asidu. If I mispronounce that, I'm so sorry. We got him as Professor Snape. Don't know much about him. Everybody on the internet is going nuts about that because, he's a black dude. They've race swapped. It's who cares? Everybody was complaining about when Sarah Jeffries, I think is her name, when she got cast as Annabeth, she's... Who cares? As long as they portray the character well and give a good performance, it shouldn't matter what race they are. It shouldn't. I don't know why people go nuts over this. I just don't get it. And then Janet McTeer is playing McGonagall. I think it's Janet McTeer. Yeah. Don't know much about her either. It's the more casting we get, the more excited I am getting for the show. Just because I'm even though I don't know much about these actors, I still want to see what they can bring to these characters, and they might bring something new that we hadn't seen in the films. So I just don't know why everybody's going berserk over this. I will try and actually watch some of these actors or this actor and actress's work, just to get an idea of what their acting is like, what their style and skills are. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody just seems to go nuts on the internet. And I've done that myself over castings or just anything in general when it comes to Hollywood. But it just gets to a point where it's just pathetic. It's just you don't know what they're going to be like as the character. I don't get it. I don't understand. I never will. But that's okay, I guess. Anyway. I think that's all I've gotten for news. I think there is more, but I want to maybe split it into the next episode of this. Just because I don't want to keep you guys for too long. I know you can only look and listen to me for so long. That's why I put stuff in the background, and that's why if I put stuff up on the screen so you don't have to look at my face for the entire episode. Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about TV. Okay, TV shows. Real quick. I'm keeping up with Reacher. I'm also keeping up with... I haven't seen Daredevil Born Again. 3 episodes are currently out, so I will probably watch those at some point, maybe on the weekend or something, and give you my thoughts on them in the next podcast episode. Um, I haven't actually fully seen a whole lot of the Netflix show, but I watched a recap and stuff like that, so it gives me an idea, and I should be able to understand what's going on, because this new show looks really good. Like, it looks really good, and there's a lot of people who are liking it, and a lot of people who are very negative on it, but the trailer looks great. So I'm very excited to watch Daredevil Born Again at some point and give you my thoughts on it. Yeah, I think that's really it for shows. I thought I would just put that in there and just, keep you guys up to date on what I'm watching in terms of TV shows. So, all right, so let's go on to the 3 films that I had watched in the past couple of weeks. One I actually just watched yesterday. So, we'll go in terms of the order of when the movie came out. Now, this one I feel like I will get judged for, considering the fact of my age and that it's not my target audience, or not, aimed at me. I watched The Ice Princess with Michelle Trachtenberg. Look who's come to join. Hey, mate, Mr. Porter. Here comes Porter in the Porter Says podcast. He's right there. There he is. Good boy. Good kid. Cool. Yeah, so I watched The Ice Princess. I felt the need to watch it after, the passing of Michelle Trachtenberg. And rewatching, and also might as well have been a first time watch since I was a kid, really. It made me go like, wow, like it just showed me like this she could act. She was a very good actress. And she's so charming and she was very adorable. And the movie has it is a really, it's a fun film. It really is like a solid Disney kids film. It works. It's a good family film. Has a really good message throughout it. One of my favorite lines is between Michelle Trachtenberg's character and Joan Cusack, who plays her mother. Says something along the lines of "Oh, you're giving up your dream to go to this college or something," and then she has to get into, maybe she's trying to get into Yale. I think, I could be wrong. And she goes to her mother. She goes, "Look, I'm not giving up that dream. I'm giving up your dream. I want to follow mine and be an ice skater." Something along those lines. And it's a good line. I actually quite like those lines in those films. Yeah, no, I like stuff like that. But yeah, it's a solid film. It just makes me go. It makes me even sadder that she's no longer around, and how much talent she had. A lot of it. So, that's The Ice Princess. Then I watched Goosebumps from 2015. I think, I don't know, something just randomly, my dad was just like, let's just watch the Goosebumps movie. I think it might have been after we watched the 2 shows. It just kind of made us go, let's go back and watch this. This obviously stars Jack Black and Dylan Minnette, Odeya Rush, a few others. This is a movie that I remember watching back when it came out. I think I remember watching it before it came out in Australia, because it came out towards I think it was October 2015. I watched it in December or something of that year, but it didn't come out until January of 2016 for Australia. So I must have found it on some streaming site. I must have torrented it or something. And ever since then, I've always enjoyed the movie. I always would watch it during October or just any random month of the year. Yeah, it's really fun. It's obviously after watching kind of how dark this new TV show was on Disney Plus, goes to show how quaint this was, and that it's nowhere near as dark as the show or as any of the Goosebumps stories are in general. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with the 2015 Goosebumps. I think Jack Black is really good as R.L. Stein. Like, he's really good. Like, I mean, he's Jack Black. He is playing himself essentially, but he's a bit more over the top in this one. I think Dylan Minnette and Odeya Rush, and I can't remember who plays the character of Champ slash Chump, but he's awesome. He's really funny. Everybody does a solid job. The CGI is a bit iffy here throughout a lot of it, like the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena and the Werewolf of Fever Swamp. A little bit in terms of CGI, even when it came out. I think Slappy, who is actually voiced by Jack Black, he's a practical effect. So he looks pretty good. I'd say he looks pretty solid. Obviously, because it's like a weird, like, actual dummy. So, nope, camera moved, as usual. This bloody camera. So, yeah, Goosebumps. A lot of fun. And then the last one that I watched just yesterday, and I've been wanting to watch this for months and months, and I finally got the chance. Better Man, the biopic of Robbie Williams, where he's played by a CGI monkey. Directed by Michael Geary or something like that. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Who was the director of The Greatest Showman? I remember seeing the very first trailer, and pretty much like everybody else, I was like, "What on earth is this?" I got to tell you, and this film, I adored it. I loved it so much. The Rock DJ one-shot sequence alone just made the whole film worth watching. When that came up, I got hyped. It's so good. It's so good, guys. I'm so sad that this movie didn't do super well at the box office, just because everybody was like, what's this? But it's not the standard cliched biopic that come out in the last couple of years, like Bohemian Rhapsody and all that. Like, I haven't seen Rocket Man or anything, but and I haven't seen the Bob Marley movie, but I'm willing to bet those movies are like the standard type of way. They're like very typical, and they don't tell like the full true story. Like, Bohemian Rhapsody is just a cleaned up version of the Queen story, of the Freddie Mercury story. And if I have to, I haven't seen Greatest Showman in a few years, or more than that. So I can't say too much because I don't remember it. It's an okay movie. Better Man obliterates it. It is superior in every way. It's got more energy to it. It's more fun. I think the concept of just this whole thing of like Robbie Williams as a monkey, like, it's never. That's just what he is. That's who he is. He's, and I was watching the interview of the movie yesterday, and it was between Robbie Williams and the director saying like, why did you make the whole thing of him being a CGI monkey? And the director was asking Robbie Williams like, what do you think your spirit animal is? And he said, a lion. And the director's like, come on, really? He's like, a monkey? It's like, yep, there you go. And that's because that's how Robbie Williams sees himself. He's a cheeky monkey. And I think it works really well for this film. There are sequences that don't make a whole lot of sense. Like, well, no, they make sense, but they're a bit silly and a little bit too out there for me personally. But I get what they were going for. So when he's like on stage or performing or something like that, he'll see different versions of himself in the crowd, and that's because he was, he was trying to like face his demons, and that's pretty cool. But it did kind of take me out of it a little bit. But man, other than that, the film is so well acted. It's directed super well. The musical, because it is a musical in a sense, the musical sequences are great. Like, I could go on and on about that Rock DJ sequence. It's so energetic, and you want to get up and dance along with it. And the fact that it's done all in one take is very impressive. Maybe there is hidden cuts, but they do a very good job of hiding them. So guys, watch it. I've been bit of a fan of Robbie Williams my whole life. Like, I've always really liked his music. I don't think this film just kind of, you know, made me go, yep, this guy is on top. He's so good. I know Robbie Williams is talking about maybe doing talked about a sequel, but I don't think you really need a sequel to this. I think it kind of ends in a way where it's like, yep, that's his story. Maybe there's more to it. You never know. So yeah, I would highly out of these three, Better Man is the film to watch. Even if you're not a fan of him or musicals or these biopics, just watch it. Like, it's really fun. Like, it's a really energetic film. Like, it's electrifying in a way. Very electrifying. Watch it. Easily the best biopic I have seen out of all of the ones that I've seen. Yeah. So, that will conclude the end of the Porter Says podcast episode today with your host and only host, Heath. You know, Porter joined for a little bit. I know you can't really see him because he kind of blends into this couch. I hope you like Darth Vader's appearance today. I figured I'd put something somewhat new on the set. And of course, like the usual stuff like Thor, Spidey, like Miles Morales, and of course the Hobbit sword. Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll try and read up on some more film and TV news and castings and stuff like that in the next one. I hopefully they won't be too irrelevant. There's always people out there who don't know what's going on in the world of that stuff. So that's why I always talk about stuff, even though it's been a few weeks since they've been released or talked about. So have a good rest of your week, everybody. And I'll catch you next time. Take care, guys.